Pwede ka bang yumaman kahit mababa lang ang sahod mo? The short answer is yes. Pero ang sekreto is not always about earning more, it's actually about spending smarter. And this is where frugality comes in. Marami sa atin na kapag naririnig natin yung frugality or pagiging matipid, ang iniisip kagad natin depriving ourselves. Na kailangan natin magtipid sa budget natin, kaya hindi natin ma-enjoy yung pera na sinasahod natin. Pero the truth is, frugality is actually one of the most powerful wealth-building strategies na pwede mong gawin kahit anong income level mo. Kasi with this strategy, ang kailangan mo lang gawin is to spend your money with intention. So kahit magkano pa ang sinasahod mo, you have to make sure that on a monthly basis, napupunta siya dun sa mga bagay that actually adds value to your life, and then you have to cut back on things that don't. Kung hindi mo alam kung paano magsisimula, don't worry because in this video, I'll show you exactly how to use frugality as a strategy to make the most out of your income. And if you stick until the end of this video, I'll actually share with you some practical frugal habits na pwede mong simulan today. If you're new here, my name is Jane, and in this channel, I talk about personal finance and simple money habits. Sabi nila, wala namang yumayaman sa pagtitipid. So, paano mo gagamitin ang frugality to build wealth? Here are 3 ways you can do it. Number 1, you can use frugality to start increasing your savings rate. Which means the more you save, the faster it is that you can build your emergency fund, start investing, and even prepare the capital for your dream business. Pero mangyayari lang tong domino effect na to kung gagamitin mo talaga yung nasisave mo sa frugal living para i-fund yung financial goal mo. Kasi kahit na 80% pa ang natitipid mo this month, kung gagamitin mo rin naman siya next month sa shopping, sa seat sale, then hindi mo rin marireach yung financial goal na yon. The tricky part here is actually trying to avoid the lifestyle creep. Kasi lagi natin naririnig na kapag tumaas yung sahod mo, for some reason, tumataas din yung gastos mo. And with frugality, that's what we're trying to avoid. Kasi for example, dati okay lang naman sa'yo mag-commute. Nag-grab ka lang kapag merong emergency or late na late ka na talaga. Pero ngayon, ginagawa mo na siya on a daily basis. Pangalawa, dati okay rin lang naman sa'yo na mag-home cooked meals. Nagluluto ka para makatipid. Pero nung tumaas yung sahod mo, lagi ka nang naka-take-out meal or kumakain ka lagi sa labas with your friends. I have nothing against these things and it's okay to reward yourself once in a while. Pero I'm just saying na kung lahat ng extra income mo or increase sa salary ay napupunta sa gastos or to upgrade your lifestyle, then mahirap talaga na mag-build ng wealth. Lifestyle creep is also the reason why a lot of people with high salaries still live paycheck to paycheck. And frugality actually breaks this cycle kasi kung dati ang mindset mo is pag tumaas ang sahod ko, mag-upgrade na rin ako ng cellphone, ngayon ang iisipin mo na kapag nag-upgrade ba ako ng cellphone, marireach ko yung financial goals ko. And that mindset shift actually makes all the difference. Kasi imagine, if every time tataas ang sahod mo, hindi ka magla-lifestyle upgrade, tapos gagamitin mo yung extra income na yon to save money, a salary bump of 5,000 pesos could mean 60,000 pesos a year. Ang laking pera nun na pwede mong gamitin eventually to reach your financial goal. Number 2, frugality builds discipline. When it comes to building wealth, money habits are very important kasi mahihirapan ka na i-reach yung financial goal mo kung every time merong sale, sasabihin mo na budol ka, or kapag may nagaya sa'yong gumala, sasama ka kahit na alam mo na hindi siya within budget. Yung mga simpleng pag-skip ng impulse buy online, magluluto ka sa bahay ngayon instead na magpa-deliver, or magko-commute ka instead na mag-taxi, mukha siyang maliit na bagay lang pero malaking training siya para sa willpower mo. Kasi eventually darating yung bigger temptations. For example, may mag-o-offer sa'yo ng sasakyan pero alam mo na hindi mo pa naman kailangan. Or jumping into a risky investment dahil lang uso siya. Kung meron kang frugal mindset, mas kaya mo na mag-pause, i-assess yung sitwasyon bago ka mag-decide ng padalos-dalos. Number 3, frugality gives you freedom. Ito yung isa sa pinaka-gusto kong dahilan kung ba't ako nag-frugal living kasi gusto ko ng freedom. Hindi lang when it comes to finances pero sa location and time na din. Kapag hindi inflated ang lifestyle mo at wala kang iniintindi na malalaking loans or credit card bills na hindi mo kayang bayaran, then mas madali ka makakaipon at mas flexible ang career choices mo. And for me, yun yung pinaka-essence ng frugality. Hindi lang siya tungkol sa pagiging matipid, but it's actually about designing a life that you actually want. In short, frugality is like buying yourself options in life, and for me, that's the real kind of wealth. Now, let's talk about the myths or misconception when it comes to frugal living. Number 1, being frugal equals being poor. When in reality, frugality is actually what rich people really practice. For example, si Warren Buffett. Isa sa pinakamayaman na tao sa mundo. I'm sure madami siyang assets, pero he still lives in the same house he bought decades ago. Kasi frugality isn't a sign of poverty. It just means smart ka pagdating sa pag-handle ng pera mo at kung saan mo siya ginagamit. And for me, that's a much bigger flex than having the latest iPhone. Number 2, being frugal means depriving yourself. Frugality is a strategy that you can customize. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na mag-frugal living ka, tatanggalin mo na lahat ng luho mo. Kasi that's when you start resenting the lifestyle. For example, ako, I live a frugal life. life. Pero once in a while, gumagastos talaga ako pagdating sa travel because that's something that I enjoy doing. And alam ko na na-enrich niya yung lifestyle ko. So I don't want to remove that. I just make sure na meron akong budget para doon. That way, hindi ako nagigilty na every time gagastos ako sa travel, wala akong savings or wala akong investment. So, tanggalin mo yung mga bagay na alam mo na hindi naman nag-enrich ng lifestyle mo, pero you can still spend on the things that truly matter to you. For example, travel, or kung gusto mo talaga ng certain coffee beans para sa kape mo, then you can invest on those things. So again, hindi mo kailangan tanggalin lahat ng luho mo, kailangan mo lang i-prioritize yung mga bagay that actually adds value to your life. Lastly, frugality is forever. Hindi mo kailangan maging tipid mode forever. For example, ako, I decided to live a frugal life for the next 2 years dahil gusto kong maging stepping stone siya para ma-reach ko yung financial goal ko. For example, gusto mo makaipon ng 500,000 in 2 years. At nag-decide ka na mag-frugal living para mas mapabilis mo yung pag-reach ng goal na yon. Pero after 2 years, kapag na-reach mo na yung goal na yon, pwede ka na mag-loosen up a bit. Hindi mo na kailangan masyadong i-restrict yung lifestyle mo para kahit papano, ma-reward mo naman yung sarili mo na hey, na-reach mo na tong goal na to, now you can relax. Ang importante, marunong ka mag-adjust without losing control of your finances. So as I mentioned earlier, i-share ko sa inyo yung mga practical frugal habits na pwede ninyong simulan ngayon. Number 1 is living below your means. If you are earning 30,000 pesos, don't spend like you have 40,000 pesos. Kasi kahit na maliit lang yung gap na yon para sa'yo, saan mo kukunin yung extra 10,000 pesos na yun, diba? Most likely, loan or credit card. Minsan kasi nadadala tayo sa comparison. Kapag nakita natin na yung mga influencer, may panibagong iPhone, yung mga kakilala natin nag-upgrade ng sasakyan, parang gusto nating sumabay. Gusto rin nating bumili. We don't realize is sobrang magkaiba tayo ng financial capabilities dito sa mga influencer or kakilala natin na to. Living below your means, it's not about depriving yourself. It's about protecting yourself from stress. For example, panibagong sasakyan na hindi mo afford right now, pero pinilit mong bilhin dahil gusto mong makasabay sa iba, ang kapalit naman niya ay unnecessary stress. Kasi on a monthly basis, alam mo na hindi kasya yung income mo, pero binili mo yung sasakyan, ang ending, kailangan mo mag-loan. And then, kailangan mo bayaran yung loan na yun. So, on a monthly basis, you need to pay this loan, otherwise, meron kang penalty. So, that's unnecessary stress na sana na-avoid mo kung nag-stick ka dun sa sasakyan mo na okay pa naman and safe pa naman gamitin, pero na-pressure ka na bumili ng bago. Number 2, cooking at home more. So, nung nagsimula ako mag-meal prep, na-realize ko talaga na ang laking tipid niya kasi yung naluluto ko ang gastos ko lang is around 200 pesos per meal, pwede ko siyang i-extend ng 2 to 3 meals pa. So, napakalaki nung natitipid ko kapag nagluluto ako dito sa bahay at dito lang ako kumakain instead of having food delivered or kapag kumain ako sa labas. Again, hindi naman ibig sabihin na hindi ka nakakain sa labas. Yes, once in a while, we still eat out, lalo na kapag kasama ko yung pamilya ko. I'm just saying na ang laki ng matitipid mo kung yung pagkain mo sa pang-araw-araw ay lulutuin mo sa bahay instead of having takeouts or bibili ka sa labas. Number 3, delayed gratification. One of the biggest enemies of savings is impulse buying. Try nyo lang once kapag natitempt kayo na bumili ng isang bagay, i-add nyo lang siya sa cart pero wag nyo muna siyang i-check out and then balikan nyo siya after 48 hours and see kung gusto nyo pa rin talagang bilhin yung bagay na yon. Kasi most of the time, nag-fade yung urge natin na bumili kapag pinag-isipan muna natin. Kasi alam natin sa sarili natin na hindi natin talaga siya kailangan. Ang pinaka-importante dito is understanding the difference between what you want now and what you really want for yourself in the future. Kasi for example, what you want right now is the brand new iPhone. Yun talaga yung gustong-gusto ninyo kasi nakita ninyo lahat na ng influencer meron, yung kakilala nyo meron na din, kayo na lang ang wala. In reality, ang gusto mo talaga is magkaroon ng emergency fund. Magkaroon ng peace of mind na kapag nagkaroon ng emergency, hindi ka mangungutang sa iba. Think of it this way, yes, makakabili ka ng panibagong iPhone, siguro gagastos ka ng 100,000, pero kung i-hold off mo yung purchase na yon kasi gumagana pa naman yung cellphone mo, yung masasave mo dun sa panibagong phone na yon, you can actually use it para sa ibang bagay. Pwede mo siyang i-invest if you want, or pwede mo siyang gamitin para ma-reach yung financial goals mo talaga. So, you have to learn how to identify kung ano yung mga bagay na gusto mo lang ngayon kasi trendy sila, and then ano ba talaga yung mga gusto mo para sa sarili mo in the future. Nung ginawa ko to, na-realize ko na ang dami ko pala talagang unnecessary gastos na sana na-skip ko para mas mabilis kong na-reach yung financial goal ko. And you don't have to go through that. Pwede mo na siyang gawin ngayon. That way, hindi ka na magsisi katulad ko in the future. So there you have it. You can actually use the compounding effect of frugality to start building wealth. If you want to learn more about how I live frugally here in Manila, I actually created a video about it. You can watch it here. That's it for today. Ciao!